Well, the United Kingdom will announce economic sanctions against Russia shortly. Prime Minister Boris Johnson and government officials held early morning crisis response committee meetings here in London to discuss the sanctions. But unlike the United States, Britain's first sanctions will not be targeting the regions of eastern Ukraine.
We will immediately institute a package of economic sanctions, which I think, as people would expect, targeted not just at entities in Donbass, in Lugansk and Donetsk, but in Russia itself, targeting Russian economic interests as hard as we can, and we will be. But the intention is not just to hit the entities within Lugansk and Donetsk, but those Russian economic interests that have been supporting Russia's war machine.
Well, the Prime Minister will set out those sanctions in the House of Commons in less than an hour from now. Our correspondent Laura Makin-Isherwood is joining us live from London in the meantime. Laura, do we have any sense of what the UK sanctions will actually target?
Well, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has made it very clear that this is going to be a barrage of sanctions coming down on Russia, and it's going to be targeting Russia itself. People and companies that are linked to the Russian government and the wider Russian economy, because the Prime Minister says, be in no doubt that if Russian companies are prevented from raising capital on the UK financial markets, if we unpeel the facade of Russian ownership of companies, he said, of property too, then it will start to hurt the Russian government and, as he says, the Russian war machine. Now, of course, the Prime Minister met with his ministers this morning at a Cobra meeting that was called as an emergency earlier this morning, where he was asking ministers to basically rubber stamp his plans. They will then be set out to Parliament in just under an hour's time, as you said, so we'll get more details on exactly what they will be shortly. But we do understand that this will be the first of many if Russia does continue to move into Ukraine and continue forward pressing on the capital.
And Laura, does Britain rate the chances of diplomacy high, riding to the rescue here to head off an all-out war that Boris Johnson's been warning about?
Well, we know that the Prime Minister is saying that intelligence does point to the fact that President Vladimir Putin may be looking to invade, but that hasn't stopped the Health Secretary Sajid Javid putting out this message essentially that diplomacy is still an option. He's asking Vladimir Putin to take a step back, saying that there is still the option for his troops to be pulled back out away from those Ukrainian borders, with that option for dialogue. But we do know, given that these sanctions are going to be imposed, the West and the UK think this is pretty serious. And the message from Boris Johnson is that he believes that Vladimir Putin is bent on an all-out invasion.
Laura, thank you.